This is the Roxanne Show. Get ready. It's time to rise. This piece right here, don't wait for the perfect conditions. You are the perfect condition. When you trust your decisions and act from your heart map, you can't make a wrong move when it's a true move. And those are the only moves that your heart whispers to you. Listen closely and trust it. For sure, some pieces of that are going into my poetry book, Magnetic Feminine, that will be coming out next year. As a writer, I just get so much fulfillment and satisfaction from crispy little sentences like that really drive a message home. You can't make a wrong move when it's a true move. What do I always say? Your heart is the truth. Your heart is where your intuition lives. Your heart is, where you are most connected with this, the universe, right? Spirit, source, whatever you want to call it, right? And also, in more of a connection and a deeper connection with your highest self. There's never going to be a wrong move directed from this place, your heart, right? And again, if a challenge is presented, do not mistake that as a wrong move. How many situations have you been in your life to this point where, you had to face a challenge and whether it was, you wanted to do it, it didn't feel good, like all the things, looking back at it now, you're like, damn, that was so necessary for me to have gained fill in the blank, whether it was an internal win, an external win, both, right? So, there's no wrong move. There are only true moves that come from your heart. So it's the more that we can exercise, get into this practice of listening to these directives, these true moves from our heart, the more empowered we become, the more self-actualized we become, the more our intuition is turned up, the more that we build self-trust, the more that we just step into a higher expression of ourself, right? Because we're in partnership with this expression of ourself that is being, our coach, guiding us, through our heart, like whispering through our heart. Or in my case, it's also, in meditation, in conversation with Roxanne, future self, my muse, the woman in the mirror. She's got all kinds of names. But it's, the point here being, you are the perfect condition. You don't need to wait for the fucking perfect condition. You just need to learn how to listen. And you need to learn how to trust that directive, right? And again, if you have to make a decision and you're really not sure, and there's a lot of things like, because at the end of the day, it all comes down to loss, I think, to keep it super simple. We're afraid of losing something when we have to weigh in a big decision, whether it was I'm losing the experience, I'm losing money, I'm losing the person, I'm losing whatever it is. It's like if you tease it out and you like take the layers off, it's like why is this giving me a hard time trying to make a decision? It'll always come down to that. Like I'm afraid that I will lose something. Okay. Understandable. Can you future pace, fast forward? Look at yourself not going or doing the thing that you're feeling in here. And again, go into your body. What happens? Do you feel closed? Do you feel open? If you feel closed in that, there's a signal right there that, no, you need to do the thing. You need to face the fear. You need to, it's not even facing the fear, or sometimes it is, but it's rather trusting yourself and trusting what you are feeling inside and just fucking going, right? Or, if it's, the opposite, then you do the opposite. If it's something that you can look back on and you're like, I don't really care that much, well then, likely what's happening in those, in the decision-making process is that it's not necessarily your heart is really guiding you towards something. It's maybe more of an emotional experience where you're like, oh no, I really want to, I remember this one, I can't believe I'm breathing. This is amazing. There was this one time fucking years ago, this is my 20s, where a group of my friends were going to Buenos Aires to go see one of our big DJ friends perform. And I was hell-bent on fucking going. This is when I lived in New York City. And it was like our crew, right? So I wanted to be there so fucking bad. And I was totally trying to convince myself, like, no, this is it. I remember, I was flying at the time I was flying like every couple of weeks between Hawaii, LA, and New York. And I remember seeing a little clip in a newspaper where it said Buenos Aires. I was like, oh my God, it's a sign, But it wasn't for me. And this is where, when I say look back, or if you can like future pace and then, try and look back and see how you feel. That was one of the most standout moments for me, or experiences that solidifies what I'm saying, like this offering, this tactic, right? Because when it got down to the point of, am I going to go? Am I going to get scrappy and figure out a way to get there? I did that. I did exactly what I'm sharing with you. And I did the look back, and I'm like, as much as I want to go, it's actually not that important to me. So I didn't go. But I love that experience because it created this tactic for me. And I've used it over and over again. And it fucking never lets me down. So I hope that helps you. Queen, this is your call to greatness. If you are ready, and I mean truly ready, to shift anything in your outer experience, your outer reality, your finances, your health, your relationship, anything career related, anything spiritual, any shift that you want to make that has to do with your reality has to first start with shifting who you are, your self-identity. My Future Self digital course is your supportive blueprint that helps you achieve this. The inner shapes the outer. So when you get crystal clear on your core beliefs, your core values, your core desires, your high heart goals, when you learn how to rewrite parts of your past that maybe don't feel so great and instead leverage those experiences to be fuel for you to expand and to grow, this is how you start to change the game behind the game of life, which all starts and ends with you. I've designed this course from my heart, soul, and experience to be a femininely fierce experience for you to uncover and connect with your most authentic self. And as a Future Self student, you get 3 months free membership access to Queendom. This is where we really get to connect. Queendom is such a rad, sacred, empowered space where every month you get a live Q&A call with me so we can connect and troubleshoot any area of your life that you would like, or just get some encouragement from me as well as the other queens in the community. This is a really sacred space, and I will see you in Queendom.